My name is Hakeem Jones, and I did my biome on the subtropical evergreen forest, which covers the areas throughout China, Japan, and disjunctive of areas in the southern hemisphere, and as well southern eastern United States. The subtropical evergreen forest biome has significant changes to land cover over time due to climate change and soil respiration of carbon pool sinkage and deforestation for agricultural land over the last decade. Large tracts of the subtropical evergreen forests in China have been slashed and burned to transform into secondary forest plantations, orchard fields, and sloping tillage lands due to timber exploitation and cash crop production. The typical climate of the subtropical evergreen forest is a monsoon climate characterized by hot and wet summers and slightly dry winters, and a distinct four season. Has an annual mean temperature of 64 degrees Fahrenheit and cannot operate in areas where it reaches below 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The climate is monsoon throughout the year, receiving an annual rainfall of 100 to 300 centimeters a year. The major drivers of the monsoon climate of the subtropical evergreen forest is caused by the intertropical convergence zone, as well as the Coriolis effect, bouncing trade winds as it travels from sea to land, bringing along moisture as it moves closer to the equator. The subtropical evergreen forest biome has a four-layer canopy layer. The first one is the emerging layer, containing a small number of very large trees and can grow as high as 75 feet tall and can withstand hot temperatures and strong winds. The next layer below you have the canopy layer, is the primary layer of the forest biome, forming a roof over the remaining two layers, contains the majority of the largest trees and also where dense biodiversity is located. Then you have the understory layer, consists of shade-tolerant shrubs, herbs, and small trees, and only able to capture 5% of sunlight and become home to many birds, small mammals, insects, and reptiles. Finally, the forest floor is the bottommost layer, receiving only 2% of sunlight and is clear of vegetation. The subtropical evergreen forest has a mountainous landscape which covers over 61 million acres of land in China, which about 80% is occupied by mountain and hilly upland high altitudes and rugged mountains. The main soils of the subtropical evergreen forest is mainly composed of granite and a arenaceous shell. The upland soils are relatively shallow, love soils. The high damp conditions of the forest floor makes it easier for rapid decomposition of dead plant material. This provides plenty for nutrients that are easily absorbed by the plant roots and however are in high demand in many subtropical evergreen forest soils, so they do not remain in the soils as long and they stay close to the surface of the soil. If soil surface was removed, the soil would become infertile and vulnerable to erosion. The fauna of the subtropical evergreen forest has a wide spread of diversity and a high level of species richness in China and can vary from large to small mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds, and insects. The flora-dominated tree species for the subtropical evergreen forest in China is composed of oak, elder, chestnut, birch, and cherry trees. There's also a large variety of orchard, bamboo, creepers. Small-leaf deciduous trees, birch, willow, and alder shrubs. Also wildflower conifers, larch, birch, and pine. The adaptation of the subtropical evergreen forest have adapted to the sunlight of the canopy layers, not being able to reach the forest floor. So many plants have adapted to attach themselves to the understory layer of the roots of larger plants and are able to travel to receive its daily nutrients. Many flora of the subtropical evergreen forest are able to grow away from riverbanks and swamps where dense undergrowth is not found. There is no vegetation on the floor because of low penetration sunlight, so many fauna have adapted to climbing trees for their resource or by just living off and using the canopy layers for resources. No vegetation on the floor makes it hard for prey to have for protection, in which so many animals have not adapted to climbing trees or blending in with the environment, so it makes it easier for predators to catch their food on the forest floor. Many species use the evergreen forest canopy layers for shelter and travel, using vines hanging from trees to make it to each layer very easily. The environmental issues of the subtropical evergreen forest starts with human infrastructure for agriculture and commercial. Also, climate change caused in soil respiration. Soil respiration is vital to understanding the interaction between metabolism and regional carbon budgets, which will study at different land use locations throughout China. The results showed that soil respiration exhibits seasonal patterns, and it was mainly controlled by soil temperature caused by climate change, um, causing a land use conversion to increase and decrease near slope tillage land because of correlation with plant productivity. To start the environmental issues, we need to take more drastic steps in controlling and reducing climate change. Also, stopping deforestation of the subtropical evergreen forest by placing laws to protect the biome.